All right, guys, how you doing? So, does this reading relate to you? Well, let's find out. So, I thought that I would use my own deck. So, I'm also going to give you, because people have been asking me, I wish you would show them more or at least do them yourself and then explain about the cards. So, I might do a few of these as we go. But this is the new deck. This is the one that is now complete, finished, new illustrations. The colouring is better. I've enhanced the colouring and I've changed a lot of the images that I weren't happy with. Okay. Now, I will state, yes, it does have me in some of the cards. Okay. But it doesn't mean that it's about me. Okay. It's still the normal right away, but it's based off messaging the way that I would message that I'm just about to show you how that you would read these cards, because they're not like when you get different decks, each deck that you buy has a different interpretation of reading it. So you get better clarity of vision of message. Okay. So let's kind of go over it. These ones are not laminated at the moment. I just very quickly just done one print sheet without laminating them or anything. And I just quickly cut them out so I could just quickly show you. Okay. But they will have a yellow border around. These will be laminated, okay, but hence the Chariot. Okay. I'm kind of thinking a lot and I'm looking down and feeling very depressed, mainly when I'm in my car or when I'm on my own, when I'm isolated and I feel like I'm at home or I'm in my car. When I have time on my own, my mind seems to wander. Stevie Wonder, but again, it makes me wonder about my ex. Now, is my ex this thought that I've split up with and I feel down because I've split up with my ex? Or is this vision that I'm having of my ex with someone else? Is it because I know my ex is with someone else and I don't want a Chariot go back? Because if I do go back, they're with someone else and then then the devil enters. Because it was toxic in the past, going backwards, Chariot. I don't want to go back because it was toxic. I can't really go forward because I'm still thinking about maybe my ex, which means that I am not over my karmic cycle with my ex because I keep thinking about them all the time. Now, what I'm thinking is that they're with someone else, or is it I'm on my own, still going through a karmic situation, but I'm single, and I'm wondering, should I move on to the future and find someone new in the future, or should I go back to my ex that I know is karmic? Or am I just generally thinking and manifesting, well, not manifesting, but at a time where I don't need to really be manifesting because my thoughts are racing between karmic bad energy, fear, aggression, loneliness. So I really don't want to be trying to manifest from something that's pure energy, because I've still kind of got the energy of my ex around me. So I'm still thinking about them. So it may not be time to move on. So really, the Chariot as an energy has quite a few messages to say, well, really the Chariot isn't moving. It's really not communicating going forwards or backwards. It's kind of stuck a bit like you would probably also get the Hangman, right? But like I'm stuck. I don't know whether to go back. I don't know whether to go forward. I'm thinking about my ex. I'm also thinking about, is there someone new in the future, but I don't know yet. So am I still codependent to the fact, well, if the future I can't see it and I don't know, I might as well just stick with my old thought pattern, which is I'll still keep thinking and hoping that I might one day reconcile with my ex. They may come to me. They may start communicating, even though I'm not. There's silence. There's emotional distance. Sorry, this is supposed to be here. There's emotional distance. Okay, I feel lonely. I feel down. The moon, 9. Virgo energy, right? So it's numerology as well. They're all listed 7, 6, 9, 9. Okay, Hermit. Now again, we start to go through the whole cards. What am I thinking? Am I thinking very negative thoughts? Okay, it's starting to do my head in a lot because all I can think about is all the negativity that went on with the past, which means that I'm very easily triggered. So that definitely means I'm not ready to meet someone, because if I meet someone in the future and I'm single, I could very easily get triggered off in the future and fuck up a good energy of someone, because I'm suffering through PTSD, trauma, and gaslighting. 9, gaslighting. So the images and the visions that I've got in my head, I'm just dreaming. I'm just kind of thinking that that's what I want. But am I really ready to find, like the hermit finds someone? It's looking, seeking for a perfect outcome of a perfect vision of what I've got for someone that I want. But am I still trying to find out what's going on with my ex? Am I still trying to find out what's going on with the bitch that's with my ex? Is there a third party? Have I been ghosted and I haven't got closure because of emotional distance? And karmically, I'm sort of waiting on the wind of thinking, holy shit, I don't really know where I am because I'm not moving at all. I've got no action. How can I get things with no action? All I'll just keep getting is a placebo of negative energy and negative thoughts because nothing's happening, which means I could be projecting a blame of someone else, but really it's me. It's the inner reflection of me that's saying, well, hold on a minute, if you're not going back and you're not communicating and you're not going forward, then what you need is action because you haven't got any, so you're really getting nowhere. So you're in a karmic hell loop with the devil that just keeps going around and around following a placebo. So what you want, a twat flame journey, right? There's also a twat flame card, right? But I feel emotionally lost. I feel emotionally distant. I possibly don't know whether to go back. Am I jealous because I keep thinking or knowing that my ex is with someone else? And no matter how much I think about them or miss them, I can't go back. I am physically stuck with an energy that's karmic. Makes me the karmic, not the other person. Because I'm the one with nothing. I'm the one that's single. I'm the one that's on my own. I'm the one that's looking in a reflection in the mirror. Michael Jackson. Michael, Jackson, Julian, Jason, Justin, Jackie, Jasmine, Jack. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going to go on with this past energy that was very toxic in my life. What's the outcome going to be? I haven't had one. I'm waiting. There's no communication. We don't know. So we're waiting because there's ghosting or there's just physically no communication. I feel emotionally distraught and lost. You took away the biggest part of me, which was a lot of my time. So I'm wasting my time. I know I am, but why can I not get this person out of my head? Because that's karma. That's what you can't get rid of. You cannot detach from a thought or a feeling karmically. You can't do it because it's metaphysical. It's a thought and a feeling. Can't detach them. That's why you have to go through it to stabilize them. So the reading, just with 4 cards of how you would read these cards, is a lot to do with these little images that you will find in the card that will give you a deeper meaning of a interpretation. Now, if you look at the Hermit has also got a ghost. I don't know if it picks up very well on the camera, but it's also got a ghost that's around the neck of the Hermit, right? Which means I've been ghosted. It's just a thing of the past. I still have this weight that is upon my back of an energy that's still lingering around me that I can feel. Intuitively, I can feel. But my thoughts are going more off towards who's the other person? Who are they with? Who's conspiring against me? Am I paranoid? 9s. Am I paranoid? Am I schizophrenic? Okay. Do I have mental health issues? Why do I keep thinking that my ex maybe is with someone else and I can't seem to get their energy off my back? Well, you just get off, but you can't, you see. That's the karmic energy, right? You have to be strong enough to get away from the devil because you have to have, like, sound body, physical mind, strong enough to be able to move on. Okay, because it will naturally fall off. I'll name Natalie, but it will naturally fall off. Okay, because a mind that is not weak is strong, so nothing can get through to it. My emotions that are not weak, they're strong. Okay, so I'm independent. I don't want one. I don't need one. I'm not in need. As soon as you're in need, you get rid of nines. When you don't need an answer, you don't need anyone, you don't need any money, you don't need any clarification, you don't need a commitment, you don't need an answer. You're not waiting for divorce, you're not waiting for a person, you're not sitting in a waiting room. When you got rid of all of those, you don't need anything. Right? All you need is yourself. You're self-sufficient. So you go to a nine of pentacles, which says, "I'm ready, are you?" in my deck, right? But then don't forget, you also go through a year 9 this year, which is a 2025 9. So everybody's kind of experiencing these lonely moments on my own, trying to figure out what's going on with my life. What's the next direction? Am I in a very bad karmic situation that's metaphysical or actually physical? Am I trying to get away from someone that's toxic, but I'm not moving because we're married, we're committed? And it does take me to pack up all my shit and stop thinking about, well, where would I go to be happy in life? Just go. But no, I'm not. I'm stuck. I'm married, committed. So I'm emotionally distraught, emotionally lost, okay, with a narcissist that gaslights me, that puts me down physically, mentally, and emotionally. I'm drained and I'm tired. I've always got this attached. It's because you're not moving. You're not acting upon anything. So this week, next month, next year, you'll get the same reading, the same cards that will relate to the same story, because that's the definition of madness, because you're not acting. Right? An elephant will not piss off out the room. You have to move. You can't tell an elephant, "Oh, bruv, you're too big for being in here. Where you go?" No. You're like, "Fuck this, bruv, I'm packing my shit and I'm off. You can have the house. You can have it. I don't care." Right? Living on my own or in a car. See, that's why I don't get it. Living in a car on my own is easier than what it is going through a very toxic, horrible situation where it's like, well, I could be free of all this. My mind would be clear, at least. I would feel better. I might have to be homeless for a little while, but I could get a job. I don't have to pay any rent because I've got a car. That's it. Nice car. That's all you need, right? Sleep in that for a little while. Go to work. Earn loads of money. Don't have to pay a mortgage. Don't have to pay rent. Find somewhere decent to park. Do that for a little while. Get yourself a 1-bedroom flat. Continue to work. Blah, blah, blah. Start over. Start from the beginning. But all of that seems very daunting to a lot of people. So they don't. They stay chained to the matrix, which is a further deck coming up very soon. But they stay chained to society of money, worries, struggle. How can I cope? How will I cope, with it or without it? How can I live without you? I want to know. Okay, so what do you reckon? This is the new card deck, right? This is how you would pretty much read it. I don't really want to go over the old cards because they don't look the same, a lot of them now. Some of them do, but a lot of them don't. Yeah, more or less. Okay. So, but again, they're missing. This is the old deck, man. I don't want to show them. But yeah, like, you know, it's taken me, like, when I've made this deck, because some people are saying, well, it's got you in it. I have to pick a character to go through it. Like, I don't just want different characters in a card, right? I want to see the same character go all the way through it. It's not about my journey. It's the major arcana and minor arcana and the kings and the queens and everything. So it's everybody's life. It's everyone going through it. Right? Have done or will do. It's a fucking full 73 or 4 card deck, right? It's just infused with how I read cards, like the depth of vision. Now, this is another thing that I also want to let people know. When you're going through like readings or becoming spiritual, why is it that I can do a lot of what I do, and why do I read the way I read? Right. So on my journey through spiritual and becoming whatever, I went through the most awful metaphysical twat flame journey where I was not actually with someone. There are differences and there are different levels to awakenings. Okay, an awakening is a karmic awakening. But some people that go through those, they're either married, getting divorcing and separating, they're just sort of spiritual. Some people that are on the twat flame journey, they can actually be with someone that they get to experience that person, but they split up, they get back together, they split up, they get back together, or there's a third party interference, or there's violence, narcissism, and gaslighting that teaches the soul about independence, right? Mine was 12 years of metaphysical experience of someone that was never physically in my life. That's why I do a lot of depth in vision metaphysical work, right? So mine was a lot of flirting, but someone was with someone anyway. So there could have never have been a relationship. But I just formed this attachment with this girl that is now my best friend. Well, I haven't spoken to her for quite a while, but she's now a very good friend of mine. But and that's all it would be, is we are friends. There's no more attachment there. But that took 10 to 12 years to get rid of that attachment, right? Naturally. But during my period, I was metaphysically connected to someone that I'd never kissed, I'd never touched, I'd never held hands with. We worked together. We flirted all the time. And I was hooked and stalking and everything, right? I just could not get this girl, this woman off my mind. So everything that I went through was metaphysical. It was a Two of Cups energy. It was never a commitment, never a relationship, never kissing, never with someone. Could never say that she was my girlfriend. It was her with someone else, me as the metaphysical flirting, teasing, going through all of the codependent energy. At the time, I was an addict. I got rid of all my addictions. I lost loads of weight. I worked on myself. I tried to get myself looking great to be with someone, but it never ended up that way. So then when you look at it, you think, well, I've done all this work for what? Well, really for you, right? Because when you're on twat flame journeys, before you get to a Three of Cups, you need to go through a Two of Cups, which means that the person that you actually find in the end is yourself. You need to find who you actually are through all of these situations first before you get to a Three of Cups. Now, if you guys are splitting up and getting back together, union, Three of Cups, going back to Two of Cups, splitting up, we're not together anymore. Well, we just got back together after an argument, Three of Cups. Well, we'll just split up again, Two of Cups, right? Very much said in my deck, right, how you would read it. But when you go through those, you'll go through a period and a cycle of finding yourself again. They're like, oh, I've just started to heal and I've just started to get over things and starting to look forward to it. During retrograde, I started to think about my ex again, and bang, we're back together again. You've done a certain period of work, but not enough. So you get back, you split up, you go back to a Two of Cups. You go through a cycle, you start to work on yourself a little bit more, and gradually, eventually, you don't unite. You have actually fall apart, fell out, gone your separate ways. You're not blaming one another. You don't have hatred in your heart. You're not aggressive, you're not angry, and you're not jealous. You naturally move away from the energy. What have you done? You've learned, you've grown, physically, mentally, and emotionally, aged, okay, matured. Okay, when you do that, you found yourself. Two of Cups, single, on my own, still on a journey, but more than likely not wanting anyone or needing anyone, because I am no longer codependent in a 9 energy. That's where numerology will take place. Nines. No longer gaslit, no longer lied to, no longer need to find an answer for anything. My life seems to be cushy, Dave. Okay, longing for love, maybe. Don't need it, possibly don't want it, but if it comes along, I'm open to it. Apart from that, I'm cushy. Then we go to numerology that relates to the date, 2025, going through year 9. Where are you on year 9? Are you going through this in year 9? What's going to become of year 1? When you go to the magician, are you going to manifest year 9 again? Have you took any actions towards this if it relates? Okay. Are you married, committed to a toxic person that you haven't left yet? Because when it comes to year 1, You could start to manifest year 1 right through to year 9 again and do another year cycle with Michael or Melissa. But you could do another 9-year cycle. It's like a 9 years convicted offence, a felony, right? Feeling like you're in jail, 4 of wands, twat flame. Can't get out, can't get off, right? Because your cycle's not over naturally. You're still going through it, right? You're still learning, you're still growing physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You've got a lot more to go through, right? So you know where you are on the stages of your spirituality. That is what this deck will show you, okay? Because through reading these cards, they're also a lot health-related stuff, okay? I'm suffering through depression. I'm suffering through PTSD. I feel lonely. I'm on my own. I can't find anything good in my life. I may be addicted to drugs, to alcohol. I may have PTSD. I may have ADHD. And I have impulses, sexual impulses, spending habits, drug addictions, food addictions, mental health, trying to find an answer to a doctor to find one. I need a doctor that's going to give me a clear answer because they haven't given me it yet. I've just been left and shoved in the system without finding out an answer. I've just been shoved to the bottom of the pile. Nobody's found my paperwork or my bookwork, and they don't seem as if they're bothered about me. And I'm just stuck here on my own, suffering through mental health. 7, ADHD. 7 of cups, but the chariot. Thinking. Right? So, mental health, ADHD, toxic behavior, sexually, mentally, physically, food, alcohol, drugs, obsession, bulk eating, bulk loading, buying, selling, feeling down, feeling depressed, feeling on my own, trying to find an answer medically to what's going on with me. Right? So, you see, this is the way that you would read them. So, what I do want to say is there's a lot of you, which are probably clicked off by now, have asked me if I do remote viewings and channeled messages personally. I do now. I do now. Because I have done 4 channeled remote viewings as a session with people when I was expecting just to do a one-on-one call. And I started writing messages before they even came online, and then went right into an hour and a half reading with them where I pretty much told them their whole life before they even spoke. Okay, those people out there, if you have been, please leave a comment, right? How did you get on? Because most of them were crying. Sorry, but most of them were crying, right? So because of that, I thought, well, possibly this does work then when it is personal and it's a one-on-one. But the reason why I haven't offered them is because it's fucking expensive, because I use a lot of energy, a lot of time, and you can't always get this from everyone. So they're not cheap. But there's a good thing. Everything that is in my shop now is in pay in 1, pay in 2, pay in 3, or pay in 4 installments on readings and tarot decks. So you don't have to pay for the whole thing all at once. It's not me that doesn't get the money. You're taking out a short-term loan of 4 payments per, 1 payment per month for 4 months or 3 months, okay, or 2 months or pay in whole. They accept Apple Pay, Google Pay, Vimeo. These are American, so I got no idea, but Vimeo, American Express, Stripe, loads of different credit cards, and then they've got their own system, which allows you to have the buy in 4. They also do Klarna, which is also a buy in 3, or it's a buy now, pay in 3 months, or it's a pay off in installments, right? There are so many offers over on this new website that I am pleased to have, because I've constantly had people asking me, Steve, can I pay you in installments? Steve, do you take Apple Pay? Steve, do you do Google Pay? Can I pay you in this? Can I pay you in that? So, also, very important for the people that are in Australia or New Zealand and everywhere Every tarot deck now is set that took me 3 days to sort out international service charge of stamp, like when I'm delivering it, a delivery charge, right? So it's now done fairly. So because for the people in Australia, they pay a hell of a lot more in dollar than what Americans do, right? They pay a lot more. So for you guys from Australia or New Zealand, you may find that the charge for delivery for the decks is cheaper for you guys, okay? It's like I said, I'm not earning anything from the shipping prices. They are all done internationally via Royal Mail. Royal Mail figure out what that costs. I don't, they do. So I've gone through Royal Mail, find out how much that is internationally across the world, everywhere. There is nowhere that you can't buy this. Okay. So I've gone through every state, every country, every, blah, blah, blah. And it's all set to how much that is for it to be delivered first class tracked. So every delivery will be tracked. So you will get a tracking number and they will, and I will tell you about your delivery. It will tell you, okay, your delivery is now on its way. Your delivery has now reached the depot. Your delivery is now here. Track it, right? You'll get all of those. It does it all for you. And you can pay in installments. Now, that's the cards. Now, when it comes to the readings, obviously, it doesn't need to be shipped. I don't know on the website that there is somewhere for you to leave what my questions are, because there are small readings, mini readings, 1 question readings, 2 question readings, full question readings, and there is a list of questions that you can ask, and you can either pick 1 or 2 questions from the list, or you can have them all if you have a full reading. That's a tarot card reading, right? That is not channeled or spoke with me. Tarot card reading. You can order one. Okay, they're cheaper. Like I said, there's cheap and expensive things all on the site, and you don't have to pay for them all at once. You can pay for them in installments. Okay, but if there isn't anywhere for you to leave your question and answers, it gives me your email. When you make an account and you buy something, it leaves your email. If you don't send me one by the time I've sent you one to say, hello, thanks for ordering a reading, just wondered what your questions are, okay? I contact you via email, you tell me what they are, I do your reading, and then I send it via the website, okay? That's pretty much how it works, unless there is a note on there that says, please write. Because the website I'm using mainly, you can sell physical products and digital products, but it kind of classes it as a product that you would have to deliver. So there may not be we realize that this is a tarot reading, then that you're going to need to leave questions. So it might say note to seller. If it does, leave a note, and that'll be where you leave your questions, right? But don't fear if you are buying one, just send me an email, okay? Because I will have your details up on the website. There is also a chat bot on there that you can get in contact with me 24/7. But you have to realize of the time. If I don't answer it straight away, my AI will. If it doesn't answer all of your questions, eventually I will answer it. Okay, if you've got any questions. You can follow me on all social media and multimedia if you've got any other questions, or you want to follow the progress of the cards. Okay, so don't forget, link provided below to the shop, where you can have finance, installments on readings and cards. These are pretty much the cards. The backs have changed a little bit. There is no red that is going to be around here. There's just a little bit left over and a little bit of white that's left over on these because I cut them out very quickly. But this has got a different 7 tarot on it. Okay, I've made it a bit different. Okay, sometimes they change. I kind of change things up when I print them off. But the fronts will be like this. Okay, and they will be laminated. Now, if you do buy a deck, very quickly as well, I know you're all impatient. When you get your cards, I will probably do a video that I'll send with everybody, the cards. You would need to fan powder them or soap them or use Johnson's baby powder. Okay, this, what I've got, is called fanning powder, but I haven't got time to fan powder all of the cards and send them off because I am so busy. So when the cards come, if you can't shuffle them properly because of the laminate, then it doesn't mean that they're fucked or they're ruined. You can get Dove soap and go over the cards like that, one by one, and then put them together and shuffle them and do all of your and all of that. And eventually they become very soapy, oily. Can't see it, but they become very pliable to shuffle. Or you can buy fanning powder, professional card fanning powder, or you can possibly use Johnson's baby powder. Okay. And then what you would do is, to quickly do it, you would put it in a jiffy bag or a sealant bag, drop a load of cards in there, seal it, put some powder in there, and then just shake it all about, and then pull them out, and then just put another lot in there and shake that about too. Don't need to put much of this in because I don't really like this stuff. It seems very... but again, like I said, that is something that you may have to do yourself. Okay, that is all card decks, even if there is a card deck, just like, ace, king, queen, jack, joker, three of hearts, three of clubs. They do that to every deck as well. They put a coating on them to make them shuffle. And then when they run out, people do the same thing. They buy fanning powder to put on playing cards. So they do the same thing. But, yeah. So I think that's all the details. So don't forget, I am now, but there's only 5, I will say, for the remote viewing and channel messages. Do not forget to read the disclosure. Because if you're a narc bitch, I can't read you. Because if you're blocked and everything, it messes up my energy. I feel intimidated, and I can't feel that or think that when I'm trying to channel for you. So you got to be very open to it. Okay, you got to work with me. Okay, you got to know how channeling works. You got to work with me to be able to pick up the messages that you want. You don't have to interrupt me, but you have to work with me. You have to be open. If you're stubborn, arrogant, and weird like the other person that just suddenly having a go at me because I was talking, right, then those readings will not be for you. You've got to be a very kind, genuine person that's open to work with me to get the messages that you want from deceased loved ones and about future predictions and stuff that's already going on with you. But they're not cheap. So think and look before you buy, okay? And at the moment, there are only 5 available. I'm going to see how it goes, okay? So all info there is going. Now these are kind of done, I'm going to be able to get back to doing remote viewing and stuff for everybody now. So stay tuned for that. Thanks, everybody. Really do appreciate it, and I'll see you soon.